Hello everyone, GG1 Barton here, and I want to do a little 1v1 versus the AI. I'm flying a BF-109E7. I've got 50% fuel. The enemy AI is Ace, and they're flying a Spitfire Mark V. I want to talk about the errors that the Spitfire makes, because I want 777 to be able to make a better AI. It's one of the things that I really don't like about flight sims is, especially combat flight sims, you got the career mode, which is cool, but the AI makes mistakes in an unconvincing manner. Uh, and I'm not sure how long it'll take or what it takes really to code these kind of things in, but I want to point out some of the things that need to be corrected, uh, because it makes, especially for me, this single player really boring, dull, unconvincing. It's not worthwhile, in my opinion, to play a single player campaign against AI, because the AI just doesn't give you anything resembling an authentic uh, dogfight experience. Take this fight, for instance. I'm in a BF-109E7 against a Spitfire Mark V Ace AI. I'm going to be turn fighting against the Spitfire, and there's no way in hell I should win this fight. No chance. I should be dead in 30 seconds or less. So, we're going to go ahead and start this and see what happens. Hopefully I won't blow my motor. So initially, we're at 1,000 meters, equal energy, and we're head on. I don't have a whole lot of time to react, so when I come out of the pause, I'm going to come out of autopilot, and I'm going to floor the throttle, and I'm going to dive because I don't want to go head on. I don't want to play chicken with the AI. I want to maneuver through the merge and spoil a shot and then try and work a position. And the AI is always going to fall for this. They'll never not take the shot if they can, which is one of the things that rookie pilots tend to do. Ace pilots tend less so. They tend to realize that their shot is spoiled and pull off of it and go for the position. Whereas rookie pilots or less experienced pilots will chase the shot until they absolutely don't have it, regardless of how bad that shot is. So hopefully the Ace AI won't hit me, because that's one of the things that I've noticed with almost every single game ever, is that the Ace AI is only that much more accurate. They can hit you that much easier because they can make calculations that are inhuman and make shots that they shouldn't even be able to calculate at all, or follow you through maneuvers that they shouldn't be able to because they don't have any line of sight on you. Like Cliffs of Dover was absolutely a poster child for that nonsense. I'm not sure how it is anymore, but this game isn't quite that bad. Uh, but here we go. Here's the merge. We're going up. We didn't chase the shot that much that time. Vertical, using the maneuvering egg. I've immediately got a shot. And now the AI is going defensive. I'm chasing him through this maneuver, which shouldn't go very well for me. Here, I want to pause. So this AI has just maneuvered in a way that puts me way out of my gun's, my weapon employment zone. He's way outside of the shot. But instead of continuing the maneuver, in his advantage, where we're just turning, all he had to do is sustain that turn, and he would have been, eventually would have come around to my tail. At the very least, he would have continued to stay outside of my guns. But now he's gone straight up and he's come out of the turn. And that's going to allow me, because I've gotten enough, well, he's managed to get enough separation on me that it's working to my advantage now, because now I have enough separation that I can get my nose on him. So we'll see if I can make this shot. Nope. There's some hits. There's some more hits. There he goes. That was stupendously easy. So the AI had an advantage, used the advantage, and then right when the advantage was going to become, right when the AI was going to switch from being defensive to being offensive, they stopped using that maneuver and went back to being defensive. And that's a mistake that I see in pilots online all the time, is that instead of working for a position to regain the advantage, all they're trying to do is not get shot down. And in the process, they almost ensure that they're going to get shot down because they're never working to reverse the situation. The best way to not get shot down by an enemy is to be at the advantageous position trying to shoot him down. If someone's evading your bullets, they're not really going to be able to shoot you down. And if you're just evading someone else's bullets, you're not going to be able to shoot them down. So at some point you have to use your advantage, whatever advantage you have, to get an advantageous position so you can get on their 6 and reverse the situation. That is what this pilot failed to do. The AI, as soon as, when he was pulling that hard G maneuver, that when we were going through that split S, and I had tried to follow him through, he had way more maneuverability than I did and was able to create a vast amount of separation. But the second the AI should have continued that and turned it into an advantageous position, the AI realized that it was no longer in that defensive position, and then it just kind of went neutral. And then after that, it just kind of got confused by the situation, and oddly enough, it never really maneuvered again that hard. So I don't know what was really going on there, but this AI it says it's ace, but at best, I would put this as like a green pilot. This guy's kind of maybe yellow. He's not really green, but he's definitely not an ace in any way. Especially considering that he just lost a 1v1 to an E7, regardless of how good an E7 pilot is. In a turn fight, you should never lose to an E7 in a Spitfire. Period. So, just one kill, one fight, whatever. Can we do it again? Let's restart. And let's see how the next one goes. And I talked about the Spitfire taking the shot and not maneuvering for the position, and it just so happens that in that one, I think I spoiled the shot well enough that the AI decided not to take it, or that it didn't have a shot at all. Usually the AI will take the shot anyway. But here we go. Let's try this again. Equal level, equal energy, head on. And again, we're going to go, let's explain the merge real quick. So when I come out of pause and I come out of autopilot, I'm immediately going to put my nose down. And that should be pretty well obvious to anybody why that is. And that's just to gain more energy. But it serves a double purpose, because if you go down during the merge, that means that the enemy pilot is either going to have to push over the stick, which, especially in a Mark V Spitfire, is not a very good thing because it'll lead to an engine cutout. But also, it's a lot harder to be accurate when you're pushing on the stick than you are to pulling on the stick. Because a lot of people don't have as much practice accurately maneuvering in the negative G arena as they do in the positive G arena, because 98% of your maneuvers are going, at least 98% of your offensive maneuvers are going to be in the positive G. So getting underneath their nose is going to provide that, regardless of what plane they're flying. Spitfire Mark V is just, icing on the cake that the engine will cut out on them when they go negative G. So it's harder for them to get the shot. You get more energy, and if they're really going to follow you, they have to roll over inverted. Now, and when they start to roll, then you can also maneuver against that, which is going to make their shot even worse. So, but initially, if once you start going down, what I'm going to do is turn to one side of the pilot, one side of my enemy, and that's going to offset our intercept. So they're going to have to maneuver not only nose down, but also nose left or nose right, which is either going to use rudder or they're going to have to roll into it. And there's only so much rudder authority you can get. So, and the rudder is the lowest authority flight maneuvering or flight control that you have in an aircraft, even in a 109, which has a really good rudder authority at all speeds, comparatively speaking. So you're making the shot as hard as possible, both physically and mentally for the pilot. It's going to be the hardest shot that they can possibly get. Now, an ace pilot, an actual ace pilot, might recognize that and abandon the shot, or you might get someone who's just really damn good at calculating that kind of a lead. If you're not careful about how you go about it, you can get hit. So it's not perfect, but it gives you the best chance of going through the merge without getting hit and without having to go head on. Because going head on is specifically giving your enemy an equally good chance of hitting you as you have of hitting them. And that's, although better than not having any chance of hitting them and them having a chance of hitting you, it's less optimal than getting the chance to hit them without them having the chance to hit you. So we're going to avoid the shot in the merge, and we're going to work the position post-merge and try and get our kill shot there. So here we go. Alright, now we're going to move to one side and go up. Again, the AI pilot is maneuvering, but not maneuvering as well as he should be. This is kind of odd. So we've kind of established an advantageous position here, but we don't really have the energy, as much of an energy advantage, because we're really low energy. Although we do have higher altitude, we have much lower airspeed than this enemy pilot does. And as curious as this maneuver is, it's actually kind of smart in a way. But the intelligence of this maneuver completely depends on what maneuver they follow up with. And to me, it seems that the AI at this point is completely defensive, and they shouldn't be. What the AI should do at this point is roll back to the left or roll back almost level and continue to gain altitude, because they still have a lot of airspeed and they can still get an advantage over me using maneuverability, especially lower speed maneuverability, because they have a lot more lift. They have lower wing loading so that they can maneuver low speed a lot better than we can. So from here, the Ace AI should be working to find the advantaged position. So they should be trying to reverse this on us, and they shouldn't have that much problem because I'm going to be trying to chase the shot like a rookie would. And I suspect that they're going to continue to be defensive. Again, this is a position from which the AI should be trying to put their nose up in the air and climb and maneuver against me to get an advantaged position so that they can set up a shot. And from there, they shouldn't have any problem of shooting me down. But I don't think they're going to. Here we go. So here we have nearly a sustained turn, which was going well for them because they didn't turn their nose up, but they went down and continued their sustained turn. What that resulted in was them gaining angle on me. Now they're off almost to my 3 o'clock. If they'd have continued that maneuver, I would have had to break off because there's no way I could continue to follow that. They have way tighter of a turn radius than I do, and if they'd have continued that, I'd have had to break off, and we'd have had, essentially we'd have reset the fight because we'd have separated enough that eventually we'd have come back into another merge. You would have had to turn, both would have had to turn around and come back into another merge. But at this point, the AI has recognized it is no longer in a defensive position and it's going back neutral. And you can see here that it's putting its nose up in the air and it's leveling off. And what this is doing is it's making him slower and it's allowing me to eliminate the angle advantage that it's gained in that last maneuver. So just when it gets smart, it gets stupid. Here we go. So here it's gained distance separation, but it hasn't continued its angle advantage. So it's allowed me to completely eliminate the angle advantage, even though the separation it's gained is putting it outside of my gun's range. It's still defensive, even from this position, when it can easily, from here, maneuver in such a way as to get onto my tail. The AI, the poor AI, is completely confused as to what it needs to do. Here we're going to go into a high yo-yo to maintain our advantage. Drop some flap and roll in. Hope we can get the shot. Not quite enough. And again, instead of continuing its advantage, it just levels out and lets me have the shot. And this is why AI is completely unconvincing. There should be a setting where you can fly into a fight in an aircraft that you should not be able to win against. Against an ace or an AI setting that should not allow you to win. If you fly into a fight like this, where you're flying a plane in such a way that is disadvantaged to your plane and advantage to your opponent, and your opponent is an ace AI, you should lose this fight 9 out of 10 times. But I could do this fight 9 out of 10 times and win. I would almost be willing to bet that I could do this 10 out of 10 times and win. But I don't want the video to be that long. So that's my criticism of AI, is that it does not recognize when it needs to go advantaged, when it needs to go offensive and work the advantaged position. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a later video. So stay tuned, and the next fighter pilot school or Kampfliegerschule video will be on energy levels and position and general SA. So it'll be a multi-part video coming up soon. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching.